Hello Trekkies and welcome back with another episode review of Star Trek Discovery. We're going to talk about the 7th episode from Season 2, that's Light and Shadows. Well, this was a really interesting story. It was a really interesting conclusion of how they found actually Spock, and Spock wasn't really needed to be found. He was actually already hiding from everyone else. So but let's talk about it a bit later. So this episode starts out with Burnham requesting a personal leave to go back to Vulcan to actually find out if Sarek or Amanda they know anything about Spock, because he's a vital element of finding out what's the Red Burst and what the Red Angel is about. So she goes back to Vulcan and she meets up with the family. Obviously Amanda is kind of happy but doesn't really want to see Burnham anymore, what happened prior in a couple of episodes, because Amanda just left the Discovery and then, hey, okay, I don't need you anymore, I'm going to find Spock on my own, and then you just don't interfere with your brother's story because I'm just really mad at you. So I wasn't really surprised when we got to see this kind of anger between the two characters, but obviously it was really interesting to see actually that they kind of passed over this situation already. And as it turned out, Amanda already knows where Spock is, because basically she started hiding Spock from everyone else, even from Sarek, who is her husband. So they found Spock in this cave, and he's bit of an out of his mind, and he's kind of just repeating the same numbers and the same lines from Alice in Wonderland. So it's really interesting to see this really emotional and kind of psychiatric breakdown of Spock as well. So as they found Spock, Sarek actually found them as well. So Sarek found out that, hey, basically you betrayed me, so what's happening? Michael, you should actually take back Spock for Section 31, because they might be able to fix him. Michael trying to solve the situation and obviously get the information from the Red Burst and about the Red Angel, she brings back Spock to the Section 31 ship. That turned out they didn't really want to help him, they just wanted to erase his mind after getting the all the information that they needed. I don't really understand why Georgiou was actually helping Burnham in this case. It was a bit interesting to actually see Georgiou going up like, hey, I'm going to help you, and then you start attacking me and I'm got disabled, and I'm going to go up to Leland and he's going to be embarrassed because you just left with Spock, and it's gonna go and work out in my favor. And it's like, what? I don't really see that, like, how is that, and then how Leland gonna get in trouble because you failed in your mission, but maybe it's just me. But it was nice to see that Burnham actually was able to take Spock out of Section 31 and just go back to Discovery or wherever. They just had to find out where they're gonna go. They just kind of jumped into deep space, and then something will happen for sure. Michael had this kind of idea that maybe the numbers are coordinates or something, so she actually ordered the computer to try to match a reference with these numbers. Well, surprising, and the surprising and the most mind-blowing thing just happened in this episode, that they actually referenced Talos 4, because the coordinates, as it turned out to be, the coordinates for Talos 4. Well, if you're familiar with Star Trek, Talos 4 is first and only appeared in Star Trek, the very first episode, the pilot episode, The Cage, with Captain Pike and the crew of the Enterprise, the very first edition, the very first version of the Enterprise. I'm kind of surprised to see the Talosians in this case. It's really good because I got to see from the next week trailer we got to see the Talosians being reimagined, and I'm just thrilled, and I'm really excited to see them, because it's been 53 years that we never seen the Talosians, and that's absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm really looking forward to revisit the roots of the Cage and roots of the original series, roots of Star Trek from the very first episode. So it's really cool that we have Pike, we have Number 1, we have the Talosians now. I'm just really interested to see if we're gonna find out that the girl who was actually playing Captain Pike as love interest in The Cage gonna appear as well in this series. But yeah, so that's really cool. So while Burnham doing all the stuff with Spock and rescue mission, back in Discovery, they just about to leave from Kaminar, and then suddenly a temporal distortion happens to be appearing around Kaminar. So obviously they trying to investigate. So Pike and Tyler, they go across with the shuttle to go and actually investigate this anomaly. They even send a probe towards the anomaly to actually find out what's going on with this anomaly and why this just happened to be here. It's a temporal anomaly, so they kind of had some difficulties with interacting with the ship and interacting with even the shuttle that they've been traveling with. And at the end they actually got sucked into this anomaly, which turned out to be quite dangerous because future, past and present was kind of existing in the same time. And while they try to find a way back to Discovery, they got a kind of a lurker who attached to the shuttle, and they tried to get some information out from the shuttle from the database of Discovery. And that was the probe that they actually sent over a couple of minutes ago, but and apparently 500 years passed ever since the probe arrived to this anomaly, so the probe kind of evolved and they tried to get informations out of the Discovery's computer. Well, now there's something that it's a bit troubles me, and I kind of started thinking that what if, because it's a 500 years difference between the late probe and the current probe, and then there's someone definitely upgraded that probe, it just didn't upgrade itself because it was lost in time or something, it's just not possible, someone had to be interfering with that probe. So I have a kind of a theory in here, and then I'm just going to let it sink. Obviously as a theory, just a theory, so don't take this 100% seriously. So I have a feeling that someone took this probe, upgraded it, and they wanted to get all the information from Discovery, and not just from Discovery but from the sphere that actually we got to see a couple of episodes ago, when the same sphere that triggered Saru's Vaharai. So it's kind of interesting to think that someone in the future wants to get the knowledge of that sphere, because that sphere knows a lot about stuff, and then uses in their own agenda and own advantage in the future. And I do have a feeling that the temporal Cold War didn't really end in Enterprise. And obviously every theory has its privilege to be wrong, so don't take this 100% because this is just a theory. They managed to get out from this anomaly, they destroyed the shuttle, and before the whole stream ended with the data download, Airiam got some red burst going into his eyes. So maybe someone through this data stream tried to send a message, or maybe they tried to do something with Airiam. They probably tried to send a message, or they might just implanted a program into Airiam's mind, or whoever was watching that transmission going on the screen. So I'm really interested to find out what's gonna happen with Airiam and what was that free burst that we actually see in this episode. So it was a really good episode, really good character moments from Burnham, really good character moments from Amanda. We got to see Spock for the first time, and as Amanda said, Spock is not gonna be the same as we left seeing him, and that was kind of a callback of the creative process of how this Spock that we're gonna see in Discovery going to be different than from the one that we got to see in the original series and further on. And I think this is totally normal because we don't know much about Spock prior to the original series. So I'm looking forward to see a different side of Spock, and then experiencing and exploring him a bit more, how he was before he joined, before he became the man who we got to know in the original series. Really good character moments from Tilly and Stamets. It was really interesting to see this Stamets as well, using his and utilizing his ability from the spore drive and from the mycelial network and all the tardigrade DNA, so it was really cool to see that too. So yeah, overall it was a really interesting episode. I'm really get hyped, and I really get shocked when we got to see the Talos 4 seating on the screen in the end of this episode, and then obviously from the next episode, from the next trailer episode, we got to see the Thalosians as well. So I'm really looking forward to see what's going to happen in the next episode, and I'm really looking forward to see what did you guys think about this episode. Please let me know in the comment section below, how did you like this episode, what was your favorite or least favorite moment, and I'm really looking forward to have a discussion with you guys in the future days. I might not be able to reply for the comments as much often because from next week I'm gonna be on holiday, but it's gonna be another video at some point. so that was it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to receive all the geekiness every week. And until next time, live long and prosper.